Blast me to Duel Academy. It's time for a Yu-Gi-Oh GX Midterm Paradox deck review. This time, Rare Yellow, Bastian Misawa. Hello everyone and welcome back to another Mad Merlin's Yu-Gi-Oh! Speed Duels deck review. So this time we're taking a look at the Midterm Paradox Bastian Misawa deck. And I think out of the four, it's probably going to be my favourite. So, we'll take a look through, of course, all his cards and his skill. We'll then take a look at the strengths of the deck, the weaknesses, and any modifications I would suggest for taking this deck to a slightly better level. So before we get into anything, don't forget to, of course, like this video if you are enjoying the content. And why not also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, as it helps get the channel noticed. If you'd like to help support the channel in any way, you can leave a comment down below. Let me know your favourite Yu-Gi-Oh character. Or you can also help support the channel by using the Mad Merlin's Patreon, where you can support the channel from as little as £3 a month. Right then, let's take a look then through the Bastian Misawa deck, and we'll see what makes his deck so special. First then, we'll take a look at his skill, which is Chemistry in Motion. So, once per turn, you may place one counter on this card, then apply the appropriate effect depending on the number of counters on this card. So 1, discard a dinosaur monster, then add another dinosaur monster with a different attribute from your deck to your hand. 2 counters, normal summon wind or water dinosaur from your hand. 3, the names of all water dinosaur monsters you control become Hydrogeddon until the end of the turn. Then add 1 bonding H2O from your deck or graveyard to your hand. 4, removal counters from this card, then change the attributes and types of all face-up monsters your opponent controls to Fire Pyro until the end of your turn. So it's a very cool skill for Bastian. Focuses around getting the materials for his Water Dragon Ace monster, and of course crippling your opponent by making all his monsters Fire and Pyro, which Water Dragon gets an advantage over. Yeah, really cool. So, moving on then, we've got the first card in the deck, which is his Ace Monster, Water Dragon. So, it's a level 8 water type Sea Serpent with an effect, which cannot be normal summoned or set, must be special summoned by bonding H2O. The attack of fire monsters and pyro monsters on the field becomes 0. When this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, target 2 Hydrogeddons and 1 Oxygeddon in your graveyard and special summon them. So his attack is 2800 and defense 2600. So he's a pretty cool and rather nifty anti-fire monster. He also has the ability to set up for resummoning himself, which we'll see when we get to bonding H2O. Next we have Hyozan Ryu, one of Bastian's cards he famously used in the anime, and a pretty old but well usable normal dragon type. So he has 2100 attack and 2800 defense, level 7, and yeah, pretty cool. Not quite blue eyes, but he works as a basic dragon. So next up we've got 2 Hydrogeddons in this deck. So this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard. You can special summon another Hydrogeddon from your deck. So providing you can top your opponent's monster with this one, you can split it into 2. Running 3 would probably be a bit overkill, but more ideally to the deck's main mechanic, which is getting out Water Dragon. So only 2 in the deck, and we only have 1 of the Oxygeddon, which is the other part of the Water Dragon summoning conditions. So if this card is destroyed by battle with a pyro monster sent to the graveyard, each player will take 800 damage. As we know, oxygen adding to fire means a big explosion. But he's a pretty good monster. He is a 4-star dinosaur, 1800 attack, 800 defense. Yeah, pretty good, nice little beat stick. couple of odd inclusions. We have a Jirak Protops here, which is a dinosaur. Level 4, attack 1700, defense 1200, gains 100 for each monster you control, your opponent controls. We also have Jirak Iguanon, level 4, 1700 attack, 700 defense. If this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can target one set card your opponent controls, return that card to the hand. Pretty good and handy. Then we're going back to the add-ons. We got Carbon Add-on, level 3, 800 attack, 600 defense. So if this card battles a fire monster during damage calculation, this card gains 1000 attack during damage calculation only. You can banish this card from your graveyard, special summon from your hand or deck one level 7 or lower dragon normal monster in face-up defense position. You can use this effect of Carbon Add-on once per turn. So that allows us to bring out Hyozanru for pretty much no tribute. I'm going to get one of him, but he's still pretty handy. We got Dogoran, the Mad Flame Kaiju, another not really Bastian card, but it's a dinosaur, so it fits a deck's theme. So we can special summon this card from our hand to our opponent's field in the attack position by tributing one monster they control. If your opponent controls a Kaiju monster, you can special summon this card from your hand in attack position. You can only control one Kaiju monster. Once per turn, you can remove 3 Kaiju counters from anywhere on the field to destroy all monsters your opponent controls. This card cannot attack the turn this effect is activated. So he's a pretty brutal looking guy. Just another big dinosaur and part of the Kaiju family of cards, which is pretty recent, I believe, in this TCG. But yeah, he gives an extra level to the deck. He's 3000 attack, 1200 defense. Moving on then, we've got Water Dragon Cluster. So, this is a upgraded version of the regular Water Dragon. Cannot be normal summoned or set. Must be special summoned with the effect of a bonding spell or trap. If this card is special summoned, you can activate this effect. Effective monsters your opponent controls cannot activate their effects for the rest of the turn. Also change their attack to 0 until the end of the turn. Then a quick effect, you contribute this card, special summon 2 Water Dragon from your hand and or deck in defense position, ignoring their conditions. So it's pretty handy if you have a second Water Dragon, which I believe I have a shiny version of from the deck's holographic cards. You can easily bring out a second 2 Water Dragons from your deck. Pretty good. He's pretty powerful himself, 2800, 26, so it's the same as a regular Water Dragon. But he is that 1 star stronger at level 9. But that extra effect, so if you know your opponent runs a lot of effective monsters, you can really get this guy out early and reduce all their monsters' attacks to 0. Final monster then, we got 2 Duo Terions. So level 5 dinosaur, you can discard this card, add a bonding spell trap from your deck to your hand. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can target a Hydrogeddon, Oxygeddon, or Deuterion in your graveyard, special summon it. You can only use the effect of this card once per turn. So he's not too bad. Level 5 for 2000 attack, 1400 defense. And it allows you to, well, get yourself the bonding card from your deck and also recycle materials you've already lost. Moving on to the spells then, we have Ryoku. So target 2 face-up monsters on the field, half the attack of the first monster, and if you do, add the lost attack to the other monster. These effects last until the end of the turn. Pretty cool anime card. I believe it was used in the original Yu-Gi-Oh anime by, I think it was the Paradox brothers, or someone at least in Duelist Kingdom. So yeah, really cool card. Good effect, cutting one monster's attack in half and then boosting another. We have Scroll of Bewitchment. Activate this card, declaring an attribute. The equipped monster becomes that attribute. So if you want to get a specific attribute out on the field, Scroll of Bewitchment could be handy. A Legendary Ocean. So this card is also treated as Umi. All water monsters on the field gain 200 attack and defense and reduce their level by 1. So it's a good way of getting your Duotrons out without tributes and giving them a bit of an attack boost at the same time. Not really a Bastian card. I'd consider this more of a Mako card, but it's handy for the deck. Bonding H2O then. Tribute to Hydrogeddon and Monoxygeddon to special summon a Water Dragon from your hand, deck, or graveyard. We have Bonding D2O. So tribute to Duoterion and Monoxygeddon in your hand and or field. Special summon a Water Dragon or Water Dragon cluster from your hand, deck, or graveyard. This is treated as special summoning with the effects of Bonding H2O. If Water Dragon or Water Dragon cluster is sent from your field to the graveyard while this card is in your graveyard, add this card to your hand. You're going to use the effect of Bonding D2O once per turn. So these are our two main bonding cards that allow us to bring out our Water Dragons. But there's a third one in the deck, which is a trap card, and they're all going to be pretty useful to the deck's main tactics. Finally, for the spells, we have Living Fossil, which is an equipment spell. So activate by targeting a level 4 or lower monster in your graveyard, special summon it and equip it to this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. When this card leaves the field, banish the equipped monster. The equipped monster loses 1,000 attack and defense, and its effects are negated. You only activate Living Fossil once per turn. So a pretty handy card. It gives yourself perhaps a much needed material for your Water Dragon out on the field. Doesn't matter if its effect is negated, because it's going to be going away anyway. But yeah, nice little revival card. Can't be sniffed at too much. We only have two traps in the deck. First off is Cursed Seal of the Forbidden Spell. From that one episode that Bastian actually used it. So when a spell card is activated, discard a spell card and negate that activation. If you do, destroy it. And if you do, your opponent cannot activate spell cards of the same name for the rest of the duel. So he used this in the anime to shut down Jaden's polymerization, basically, to stop him from fusion summoning. But then Jaden pulls out another way of fusion summoning, which was Miracle Fusion. And that absolutely stumped Bastian. So yeah, it's really had its like one occurrence in the anime, but it's still a pretty good card. And finally then we have Bonding DHO. So you shuffle a Duoterion, a Hydrogeddon, and an Oxygeddon from your hand or graveyard into your deck. Special summon Water Dragon cluster from your hand or graveyard. You can banish this card from your graveyard to add a Water Dragon or Water Dragon cluster from your deck to your hand. So another handy card that allows you to get your materials and also another way to special summon your cards. So yeah, it's a pretty good Bastian deck. The only odd things are the fire dinosaurs. I'd probably replace those with some extra Geddon cards to boost that and keep it as a more focused deck. I do kind of like Bastian. He was one of my favourite characters in GX. There's some really good cards. Like I said, take out the Dino cards. They'd be a lot better put into a Hasselberry deck, which if you have the previous Duel Academy's a Duel Academy box, I believe there was components and a skill card in that to start building a Hasselberry deck. So yeah, the strengths, great use of the bonding cards and the Geddon cards, monsters. The skill is pretty good. It does boost your ace monsters and helps you control the field a little bit more. The weaknesses is minimal spell and trap destruction. It is reliant on having your specific materials, and because you haven't got too many of certain ones, it's going to be hard to get those materials out. So modifications, and then let's take a look first at the extra cards that are Bastian related in the box. So first off, we have a second skill, Under Pressure. So activate this skill while you control Hyozan-Ryu. Once per turn, you can reveal the top 4 cards of your deck. If there are any of the following monsters are revealed, apply the appropriate skills in sequence. Then place the revealed cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. So if you get a Carbonedon, 1 Hyozan-Ryu gains 1,000 attack. If you have a Hydrogeddon revealed, 1 Hyozan-Ryu you control is unaffected by opponent's monster effects until the end of the turn. If an Oxygeddon is revealed, destroy one face-up monster your opponent controls, then inflict 800 damage to your opponent. So it's a nice card that focuses on Hyozan-Ryu, one of Bastian's other ace monsters. I believe there's also another Bastian skill that pretty much allows you to special summon Kozanru if you got so many cards on top of a certain monster in your graveyard. Much like how it worked in the anime, which is kind of weird though. But yeah, I get it. Under pressure, you know, carbon atoms, etc., harden his diamonds. Pretty cool skill. It's, again, you'd want to double up on the Hyozanru and also triple up on some of these add-on cards. It might be useful. Okay, not really a Bastian card, but these are the only ones in the expansion that probably do fit the Bastian. So famously, Bastian decided that in one episode they needed to train and get the idea of love out of their head. It was revealed that Bastian actually has a card crush on White Magician Pikeru. So during a standby phase, you gain 400 life points for each monster your opponent controls. She's not too bad, level 2 with 1200 attack, 0 defense. If you can keep her around, you can make use of Pikeru's Circle of Enchantment, so you take no damage until the end of your turn. So yeah, pretty cool. Like I said, it's not really a Bastian card. He had a crush on her, which is kind of weird. But yeah, like I said, it's the only cards in the spare cards that really do match up to Bastian. There's not a lot in there for Bastian otherwise. Frost and Flame, possibly, and Loud Cloud the Storm Serpent, again, possibly. They kind of fit the Bastian elemental theme. Other than that, yeah, there's not a lot in here that's Bastian related. But I do think, though, that is a rather good deck as it is. If you can get 2 copies of this box, you'll be able to double and triple up on a lot of the key cards for the deck. And you'll be able to make one solid deck out of that. So, there we have it. Yeah. As I said, pretty good deck. All it needs is a double up on some of the add-on monsters, and maybe doubling up on some of your ace monsters as well. So stay tuned for the next one. We'll take a look then at Cyrus and his Roids before finishing off with the Paradox Brothers and their mighty Gate Guardian. And no, I will not be doing any rhyming. But there we have it. Thank you all for watching. If you think I deserve it, please give this video a like. And don't forget to drop a comment down below saying your favourite Yu-Gi-Oh character. For me, I think it has to be Bakura. I just like the whole... I like the fact that he was into D&D games, which was kind of a thing that I'd always wanted to get into, but I've only recently gotten into. And yeah, I do kind of like Bakura. He's nice. British as well, which is the same as me. I'm British. So yeah, it's kind of a tie. I mean, Bakura and I suppose Bastian from GX. Yeah, there's a lot of cool characters in there. I always used to be a Joey fan. Then I kind of went to Kaiba. Was never really a Yugi fan. I always kind of I liked Joey and his luck-based decks. That was kind of cool back in the day. But yeah, there we have it. So, thank you again for watching, and I will see you next time for more mad content. Goodbye.